Hello, my name is James Disley, and I am the founder of the Digital Marketing Bureau, but I'm also somebody very, very interested in the latest sort of movements of innovation, technology, and marketing in the real estate sector. And here today, I'm joined by Max, who is the Partnerships Director at Zappar, because they've been doing some very, very interesting work within the architectural world and augmented reality. So, Max, maybe we can sort of start this off by giving a sort of a very short idea of what augmented reality actually is for those people who perhaps haven't seen it before.
Yes, absolutely. So augmented reality and Zappar is the connecting of the physical world of things, so printed material, with the digital world of devices. So we are a way of bringing someone's prints to life with digital content.
Yeah, absolutely, because I suppose in reality, augmented reality is to augment something is to grow stronger. So essentially, you are growing your vision stronger, and it's sort of midway between our own reality and virtual reality, which is total immersion. Augmented reality, I suppose, fits in the middle. And why don't we just immediately give people a bit of an idea of
mobile
what
device
you are doing with these guys, HLM architects, I understand. And let me just screen share this. So why don't you just run through with people? I'm just screen sharing this, so you should very shortly see my screen of your website. Can you just talk through people exactly what you've done?
Yes, so what you're seeing here is the HLM brochure, which was created especially for MIPIM in Cannes this year. So this was a printed brochure that was showcasing, their most exciting projects, most exciting recent projects, and in itself, it was a beautifully designed brochure that people could flick through and see the pictures and read about the different projects. But if you were to download the Zappar app and zap, as we say, aiming your device at the different pages, then 3D models of the buildings would grow up out of the pages. So it made a sort of a flat, passive thing into an interactive, immersive display for these beautiful buildings. The one you're seeing here is Enderby Wharf, and so the building grew up in 3 dimensions, and then we added in elements of interactivity, so a user could tap to see what it was like with the panels on and off. These lovely bronze panels were the kind of signature of the project, so to speak. And you'll see here we've given the building a kind of almost a translucent effect. It doesn't quite come up on the video, but you can kind of partially see through it. It's quite ethereal, and it was a really interesting way to show the building. So you can see the pillars that go all the way up through. You can see the internal walls. The other interactivity in this one is seeing it at in the daytime and then at night. So yeah, and then there were 3 other Zappar board pages in the brochure. We had the William Sutton Estate in Chelsea, and that one we saw the current buildings kind of going down, and then the phasing of the new buildings coming up. So it was, quite an interesting way to display how the project's going to develop over time. And again, we could tap to see the penthouse layer, so the kind of beautiful penthouses right at the top.
Yeah, I think that's quite an important point, because what you just said in the original section there, I think it's so fundamentally important, which is this is taking what was traditionally seen as a brochure, and it's just a very flat, uninteractive bit of marketing literature which you hand out, and suddenly you're making it a little bit more fun, you're making it more interactive. And being a big believer in technology, but equally in the more traditional sense of having something that people can take away with them, you're offering something extra. And I think, so you just said though, within that brochure there's 3 different examples, is that right?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
So there was, when you zapped it, it played a video across the page, and yes, the other 2 that I mentioned were more the kind of 3D interactive type zaps. But you're totally right. One of the key things when you produce a brochure like that for a show like MIPIM is you want people to take it home with them and ideally show it to other people as well. So this,
It's a bit of
created
excitement,
lots of
isn't it?
excitement.
It's absolute excitement.
Yeah.
I mean, it's making it fun because it stands out. And certainly at the moment, I've often said that augmented reality has got a sort of an 18-month life in its current iteration, which is things popping out from the floor. I mean, equally, I've seen augmented reality with great big boards on walls, or, for example, and I'm trying to think of the word, but the which goes around the building site, and I can't think of the word.
The hoardings.
Hoardings. There you go.
Yeah.
I can't even remember it. But actually having the image coming out of the hoardings. So you've almost got a sort of a life there of 18 months where, do you know what? For the moment, it's a lot of fun. But having said that, there's a practical application there as well. I mean, you mentioned you've got the nighttime and the daytime. A lot of people don't ever consider looking at something at different times of the day. You've got the ability to interact with the floors and see floor plans, and as you say within the brochures, play video. So you're bringing your brochure and your written material to life, which for me is a very, very exciting period as augmented reality is becoming more exciting, and fundamentally more use, sort of the public is getting used to seeing this sort of stuff. So then we jump into the next realm, which is saying, well, what more can we do with it all? And I think that begs the next question. But what do you think HLM learnt anything from this in this experiment, and are they looking now to adapt it into future projects? And if so, what are they looking to do?
I'm sure they did. I know that we definitely did. It was our first time working with a firm of architects, and Zappar's our heritage is coming very much from the entertainment world. So we've worked with hundreds of the biggest kind of entertainment brands in many countries, and this is a kind of a new direction for us, so to speak, and we've seen that there are many brilliant uses for our technology within this sector, and so having an architect as a client made it a much more collaborative process. So David, who's a director at HLM, would come in for review meetings and say, maybe the building could appear a bit more like this, and he was very involved in the creative process. So it was great to collaborate in that way with a really creative company. And then the long-term strategy for us and HLM is, yes, I mean, I'm sure we'll do more projects like this, but the long-term goal is we are developing a suite of tools to allow content creators to make their own augmented reality content like this. So obviously I can't say too much about that because it's still kind of being brewed up, but that's the long-term goal, is to put the tools in the hands of the content creators and let them use their in-house expertise to harness the power of augmented reality. Absolutely.
I mean, the term augmented reality I've often struggled with, because the amount of things you can do with augmented reality is huge, and I think that's actually, funny enough, one of its biggest weaknesses, which is defining exactly what it is that you want to do with it, because the benefits you can have from using augmented reality are vast. But certainly it's one of the things that we often discuss here within my own website is looking at global developers, how they're using it to hopefully educate everybody else and using it in the right way.
Yeah.
But just, I mean, one final tip before we go, because I'm very conscious of keeping these sort of succinct. I mean, certainly one point, you guys, I think, have done a great job if this is one of your first projects within the real estate sector, because there's certainly a lot of people out there who have trialed it and not done brilliantly with it. So commending to you guys for that.
Thank you very much.
If anybody is interested in looking at what Zappar have done, go to zappar.com. They've got some great showcases on their website. Currently, it's actually the first showcase that you see on their website, and you've got to find out more. If you click on that button on the left-hand side, and you actually get to the trigger image, and you can download it on Android and on iOS devices and actually see what they're doing. So I encourage you to go and have a look at that, because a lot of people do augmented reality for the sake of doing augmented reality, which is, it's just a great big tech which looks great. The fact is, we're getting to the point now where public perception is such that they understand what AR is all about. So certainly learn to look at good examples and apply what other people are doing to your own projects, and do something what these guys have done. Look at night and day. Look at the sort of interactivity of showing floors, showing levels, showing floor plans, having videos embedded in images. That's good practice, not bad practice. So, Max, thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it today.
Thank you, James.
commend what you guys have done. I think it's a great first offering from you guys, and certainly for those of you who want to know more, Zappar.com, there's a lot on there. So thanks ever so much, everybody. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Max.
Thank you.